So let's say Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and as we welcome all the leaders of the G20 nation to our very beloved India in the national capital Delhi as the G20 final summit starts off today. Welcome to all the head of the states, presidents, prime ministers, dignitaries, media from all the G20 countries as they come and assemble together for this very, very important event. The G20 summit and India's presidency, I think it is once in a lifetime opportunity for all of us. The economic significance of the G20 is huge. For the hospitality and the tourism industry, I think it not only means huge business opportunity, it also means that collaboration. It means working with so many of the countries, their organization, cross-border tourism, cross-border travel opportunities, new flights, new connections. And I think this economic significance is massive for the hospitality, tourism, travel industry in particular. And we are looking at an investment of over 20,000 crore as the G20 summit comes to this crescendo as the world leaders meet with the Prime Minister Narendra Modi today to come to a conclusive decision of the several events that happened over the last 12 months when India took over the presidency from Indonesia of the very, very important and very, very prestigious G20 nations. So once again, warm welcome to all the guests who have come today in our country for the G20 summit in Delhi. G20 has galvanized the creation of skill development among the youth of the country in a very, very massive way, because the summits which have taken place over the last 1 year involved huge amount of travel, hospitality, event management, food and beverage, and of course cultural exchanges. And India has showcased the best of its hospitality, the best of its culture and diversity, and the best of its everything, including food, to the thousands and thousands of the international delegation which came and visited in different aspects of the G20, whether it's about climate change, whether it's about environment, whether it's about tourism, or it was about the information technology or AI. So I think the skill development has been very, very positively impacted. And we at IIHM are very, very happy because our new article, which is called IIHM Institute of Hospitality Skills, has also started almost at the same time. And we are a big supporter of the Skill India mission of the Prime Minister. We have got ambition to open 100 centers of the skill development in hospitality, tourism, and travel sector. And we want to create a huge ecosystem of jobs for the young Indians as we impart them the world-class skills so that they can get a job, not just in India, but they can get a job anywhere in the world. I think that G20 revolution has really, really impacted the skill development center very, very strongly. And we at IIHS also are extremely happy. I, as the chairman of IIHM and IIHS, feel that this has given us a very strong push, a very strong impetus, and we are now going to have a journey of opening the 100 centers, of which 18 centers are already working. So we will be opening 100 centers. We will be going to the Tier 1, Tier 2 cities also, and be skilling the Indian youth so that they can become employable, they can become a much better eco-centric way in the hospitality and travel industry. So G20 is one of the biggest takeaway is the skill development push. The G20 movement, the summit which is coming to an end in a couple of days, also have bolstered the Indian cultural diversity to the entire world. Apart from the economic significance, I think the G20 played a very, very important role in the cultural exchanges. We have learned a lot from the G20 delegations over the last 1 year, and we have shown the world our culture, our diversity, and our talents of the Indian youth, especially in the hospitality industry. A lot of the people will be going for the internship. A lot of people will be getting the opportunity to showcase their cultural talents all over the world. And in totality, the world will become one, because culturally, India is so rich. This is a great opportunity for our talented youngster, for our talented youth to show the real India to the world. So I see a lot of opportunities here for the cross-cultural diversity and the cross-cultural exchanges, which will help all of us, and especially help the talented Indians. So G20 is not only about economic or about business, it's also played a very important role in the showing our greatness and richness in culture and diversity. One of the industry that has been absolutely impacted very strongly due to the G20 summit for the last 12 months, so many of the events have happened, has been the hospitality industry. The influx of so many tourists, so many guests, so many delegates from all over the world made our hospitality industry really boom. And not only that, they have come back again in the personal capacity. I think this is even more important because this creates a global opportunity for the Indian hospitality industry, the hotel companies, to go global, to open their hotels, their restaurants, their cafes all over the world, because this will help India to reach to the world. We know that Indian food is the best in the world, and there are Indian restaurants all over the world. But now with the G20, I think even more Indian restaurants we will find all over the world. More of the Indian hospitality players will be venturing and opening their hotels all over the globe. I think hospitality industry will get a huge boost in the economic sense, in collaboration, in expansion, and making the Indian industry very visible, very global, and very profitable. I think the Indian hospitality is next to none in the world, and the world now will have the opportunity to experience the Indian hospitality thanks to the G20 summit and thanks to the very strong initiative by the Prime Minister Modi in pushing the G20 summit in the hospitality and tourism sector. The G20 summit not only has bolstered heavily the hospitality industry, but according to the survey and according to the statement made by the Prime Minister Modi, we are looking at 20 trillion hospitality industry in 2030. Just imagine 20 trillion industry by 2030. And we're looking at creating 14 crore new jobs in hospitality sector. 14 crore new jobs is huge, humongous. I don't think any sector, whether it's IT or agriculture, can create that kind of a workforce which hospitality can. And this, I think, are single most important positive impact of G20 summit in the hospitality sector. The G20's prime contribution has been on the green planet, on the sustainability initiatives. And I'm so happy because I also champion sustainability in the hospitality industry for the last 25 years now. In fact, my latest book, The Art of Sustainable Hospitality, is all about sustainable hospitality in India and abroad. I think the youth are really focused now to get a greener planet, a greener world, and the G20's discussion on how to make the planet better, greener, and eco-friendly has really rubbed on in the hospitality industry, because the hospitality industry would be using a lot of eco-friendly initiative processes which will help the entire world. I think one of the biggest takeaway has been the sustainable practices. As our chairman of the Young Chef Olympiad, which is the largest culinary Olympiad in the world, and will be the 10th year next year, of over 60 countries coming and participating in India. Once again, I think that's going to be the biggest international event after the G20 summit. I think sustainability again is the theme. We have kept the theme once again as sustainable culinary. So the cooking, the ambience, the entire organization of the Young Chef Olympiad would be based on sustainability. And sustainability indeed is the theme for the Young Chef Olympiad coming in January 2024. So I'm very happy that the world and the leaders of the world are not only discussing about sustainability, but actually acting on it. And India would be really profiting a lot from the G20 summit as far as sustainability is concerned. 2023 was the year of millets, as was announced by the Government of India, the beloved Prime Minister of India, and we at IIHM, India's leading hospitality education institution, have organized several food festivals all over the country to showcase the millets and the best of the millet cooking. Whether it's in Hyderabad or Bangalore or Pune or Goa or Calcutta or Delhi, we did it everywhere. We also had the blessing of the Honorable Agriculture Minister of India, Shri Narendra Tomar, who also blessed us with his very good statements. And I think our entire student population of over 10,000 students now knows how to promote millets, how to make the best of the best food by using millets. And that is one of the best use to save the world from hunger, because millet can be cheap, inexpensive, but very healthy, very delicious, and very hygienic. And Year of Millet has extolled the entire IIHM faculty and the student population in a very big way. And I think our educators did a fantastic job throughout the year to promote the Year of Millets. And we'll not stop now. We'll carry on the revolution of using millet in our main meal, and we'll carry on the cooking with millets in the next few years as well. So that's for the Year of Millet and the G20 contribution to India. We are very grateful to the Prime Minister and the Government of India for doing this for us. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one, and the world is today in the G20 summit in Delhi. And as we greet the leaders of the world to come to a better world, a better planet, and economic significance has been huge. The cultural and the diversity has been massive. The learning in terms of educational values has been huge. I think this is the best thing that has happened to India for a very long time, whether it's about economic significance, whether it's about educational opportunities for the Indian youth, whether it's about skill development for the Indian young people, or whether it's about showing our cultural richness to the world. I think the G20 summit has brought the world to India, and I think the biggest beneficiary is the hospitality industry and the nation itself, because the hospitality industry have gained so much, whether in terms of business, in terms of investment opportunities, in terms of collaboration, in terms of expansion globally, and of course, in terms of showing the world that Indian hospitality is indeed the best in the globe. And this, I think, is the biggest lesson for all of us in this incredible G20 summit. I thank the entire team of the G20 summit led by our very beloved Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji for bringing the G20 summit to India, or for making India the global eyeball for the entire G20 nations. The entire world is today looking at India. The entire world is now looking for business opportunity in India. The entire world is looking for India's culture, diversity, and Indian hospitality and Indian food. So G20 has been a tremendous success, and we at IIHM would like to thank all the members who have really worked tirelessly for last 1 year to make it such a big success. I think the biggest G20 summit the world have ever seen. And once again, I say, Vashidava Kutumbakam, and welcome all our guests on behalf of IIHM.